Welcome back to Nation of Glory. Today, we bring you a story that is more than just about wrestling. It is about resilience, passion, breaking barriers, and inspiring generations. This is the journey of Elizabeth Copeland, better known to the world as Beth Phoenix, the woman who became one of the most powerful forces in WWE history. Her story is not only about championships, but about the heart, determination, and courage it takes to rise in a world that often doubted women's place in the ring. Beth Phoenix was not born into fame, nor did she walk into wrestling with doors wide open. She built her path with sheer willpower. Growing up in Elmira, New York, she was a girl who dreamed big, and while many might have thought those dreams were unrealistic, she saw possibility where others saw limitations. Her first love for wrestling came as a young fan, watching the larger-than-life characters of WWE on television. What captivated her was not only the spectacle of the ring, but the strength and storytelling that wrestling represented. It wasn't long before she decided that she, too, would one day step into that ring, even when people told her that girls didn't belong there. Her journey started with amateur wrestling. At a time when female participation was not common, Beth competed with boys on the wrestling mat, often being underestimated and overlooked. But match after match, she proved that she was not someone to take lightly. Wrestling in school gave her the foundation of strength, discipline, and grit that would become the hallmark of her professional career. Every talkdown, every hard-fought victory made her more determined to push boundaries. As she transitioned into pursuing professional wrestling, the road was not easy. Beth trained tirelessly, working through injuries, rejection, and the harsh reality of an industry that often placed women in the background. In an era where women were often presented as mere side attractions in WWE, Beth Phoenix envisioned something different. She wanted to prove that women could be just as strong, just as dominant, and just as respected as the men in the ring. Her breakthrough came when WWE finally recognized her potential and signed her to a developmental contract. But even then, the obstacles were far from over. She debuted in WWE with excitement and hope, but a severe injury in her early days nearly derailed everything. For many, that would have been the end of the dream. But for Beth Phoenix, it was only the beginning of a comeback story. Through painful rehab, months away from the spotlight, and uncertainty about whether she would ever wrestle again, she never lost sight of her dream. Her determination and inner strength turned a setback into the foundation of her legacy. When Beth finally returned, she came back with a vengeance. Her strength, combined with her technical wrestling ability, set her apart from her peers. She wasn't just another performer, she was a powerhouse. Her nickname, the Glamazon, perfectly captured the essence of who she was, a mix of beauty, strength, and dominance. She quickly rose to become one of the most feared and respected competitors in the women's division. Winning the WWE Women's Championship cemented her place in history, but what truly made Beth Phoenix special was not the titles she carried but the respect she earned. She proved that women could headline, that women could tell stories in the ring that captured hearts, and that they could break stereotypes that had long limited their opportunities. Every time she stepped into the ring, she was representing not just herself, but every young girl who dared to dream of greatness. One of her most iconic moments came when she competed in the Royal Rumble, becoming one of the few women to ever enter that traditionally male-dominated match. Standing toe-to-toe with male superstars, Beth showed the world that gender didn't define ability, and her performance left fans in awe. It was a moment of history that sent goosebumps across arenas and homes worldwide, inspiring countless women to believe that they, too, could stand strong in any arena of life. Her rivalries with stars like Mickie James, Melina, and Natalya became legendary, not only because of the physical battles, but because of the stories they told. Beth Phoenix brought a sense of seriousness to women's wrestling that demanded respect. She wasn't there just to entertain, she was there to revolutionize. And she did. But behind the powerhouse persona, Beth's story is also one of kindness, humility, and love. Outside the ring, she showed a side that was warm and genuine. She balanced the role of being a fierce competitor with being a role model, a mother, and later, a mentor. Her marriage to fellow WWE Hall of Famer Edge, and their journey together as parents, added another beautiful chapter to her life. Fans admired not only her career, but also her ability to embrace life beyond the ring. After her retirement, Beth Phoenix didn't just disappear from the world of wrestling. She continued to give back to the industry, stepping into commentary roles and mentoring younger talent. Her voice brought insight, her presence brought credibility, and her passion for wrestling continued to shine through. She reminded everyone that, even when you're not in the ring, you can still shape the future of the business you love. Beth Phoenix's legacy is not just about being a three-time WWE Women's Champion or a Divas Champion. It's about being a trailblazer who refused to be limited by the expectations of her time. She was a warrior who showed strength in every sense of the word: physical, mental, and emotional. She inspired a new generation of female wrestlers who today are headlining WrestleMania, competing in matches once unthinkable for women, and proving that Beth's fight was never in vain. Her induction into the WWE Hall of Fame was a moment that brought everything full circle. As she stood on that stage, looking back at her journey, fans across the world celebrated not only her accomplishments, but her influence. The ovation, the cheers, and the gratitude were a reflection of how deeply she had touched the hearts of wrestling fans everywhere. Beth Phoenix is a story of breaking barriers, of turning pain into power, and of standing tall in the face of doubt. She showed the world that dreams are worth fighting for, and that with enough courage, anyone can rewrite the rules of what's possible. And that's why her story will continue to be told, not just in the ring, but in the hearts of everyone who believes in chasing greatness. Thank you for joining us today on Nation of Glory. Beth Phoenix's journey is a reminder that strength isn't just about muscles or titles, it's about spirit, perseverance, and the impact we leave behind. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Nation of Glory, where we bring you powerful stories that inspire and connect us all. Until next time, stay strong, stay inspired, and keep chasing your dreams.